Yo guys, and welcome back to my channel, where today we're going to be doing a tier list. As you can see, now this tier list is only based off the last decade, so it's between 2010 to 2020. So anything prior or after that I'm not taking into consideration. So if you see I put a player in a position where you don't like or don't agree with, this is just my opinion. So before we get started, make sure you hit my socials up to be down in the description below. So yeah, now let's get into it. First player is Geordi Alba. Now Geordi Alba, I think between 2010 and 2020 has probably been one of the most consistent left backs in the world. You probably say him and Marcelo will be rivaling each other at that position to see who's number one. I mean, ever since he joined Barcelona, it's just been upwards for him. So I think with Geordi Alba, I'll probably say, I'll say elite. I'll therefore say he's been elite. The next player is Alexis Sanchez. I mean, the end of the decade, I'd say, has been an absolute shocker, especially this time at Manchester United, where it's just been downhill. Prior to that though, at Arsenal, he was amazing. He was definitely world class. I think his move to Manchester United put a downward spiral for him. I'm going to put Alexis Sanchez at good. It's a bit of a sticky one with Alexis Sanchez, because he was so good, but then he was so bad, and it's like there wasn't really an in-between. I'm gonna put Alexis Sanchez at good. Now Dani Alves. The thing is with Dani Alves, even towards the end of his career at Barcelona, he was still regarded as the #1 right back in the world. I don't think anyone can really argue that he was definitely the top of the top. I think Dani Alves, you've got to stick him at elite. Like, there's no, not gold, elite. I don't think anyone can really argue that. Next is Pierre, Emerick, Aubameyang. Now, he's had a few tough spells within that decade. Obviously, first off starting off at Saint Etienne, and then moving on to Dortmund, where he was amazing, just scoring goals, being probably one of the better strikers or more promising strikers coming through. Then obviously moving on to Arsenal, where he's had a few good seasons. I'm not too sure with Aubameyang. I'll probably stick him at good next to Alexis Sanchez. I'm gonna say Aubameyang was good that decade. Next up is Gareth Bale. Now Gareth Bale, from start to finish in that decade, I say start to finish, up until they started dropping him from the squad at Madrid. So from 2010, when he burst through the Tottenham squad, especially in 2010 when they played Inter Milan, he absolutely made Maicon look silly. I think for Gareth Bale, it was definitely an elite decade. I'm going to stick Gareth Bale in elite. Now next on the tier list is Kareem Benzema. I feel like Benzema within that decade especially was very underrated, consistently performing, and obviously overshadowed by Ronaldo at Madrid during that time. I'm going to say Benzema was good. He definitely had a good spell. Next up is, for me, one of the best ever defensive midfielders in the world, Sergio Busquets. I've always had this thing where Busquets is the anchor in midfield for Barcelona, and for me, I've always said, without that anchor for Busquets in midfield, I don't believe Xavi and Iniesta, as good as they are, and don't hate me for this, I've always said, without Busquets, I don't think they would have been as free in midfield to do what they can do best. I'm always going to put Busquets at the elite level. Yeah, nah, he's got to go. I'm going to put him in elite, because he definitely has been one of the best defensive midfielders in the world. I'm going to put him at elite, yeah. I'm going to put Busquets at CDM. I'm going to put him at elite. Another CDM, speaking of CDMs, Casimiro. Now he's another one where I think he's had a brilliant past few years at Madrid, and especially being part of that team winning the Champions League numerous occasions. Kind of was a little rock in midfield. Now I don't think he, in that decade, was as good as Sergio Busquets. So I'm going to put him in the good section. Yeah, I won't put him in average, I'm going to put him in good, because he did show he did show why he deserved to be in that squad. Now this is going to be, for me, the first goal of the whole tier list. Casillas. I don't think anyone can deny the fact that Casillas should be in that GOAT section. he has been Mr. Consistent. I don't think anyone can disagree, especially for that position where he's been so dominant as your number one worldwide. Casillas has to be in that GOAT section and GOAT category. So I'm going to put Casillas in the GOAT section. Now we have Ces Fabregas. I feel like that decade, Fabregas, he showed his class. And you can just tell that Fabregas was just a whole different level. It's a difficult one because I'm kind of split between putting him in good and elite. And I feel like if we're talking based on his position, and if I'm comparing it to other players in that position during that time, I'm going to put Ces Fabregas at, I'm going to get loads of hate for this, but I'm going to put Ces Fabregas in good. Next up is Thibaut Courtois. Thibaut Courtois. Now, I think at one point Thibaut Courtois must have been top 3 keepers in the world, especially when David De Gea was arguably the best at that point. He had his games at Atletico Madrid where he showed a lot of promise. I feel like he's lived up to it, but I'm going to put him in good, even though he's another one where you kind of splitting in between elite and good. This one, I'm joking. Ronaldo is the GOAT of GOATs. He is the number one. I know you Messi fanboys are going to go, Ronaldo has broken every record there is. Ronaldo is your number one. There we go. Now here's another one that we're going to stick in there. Oh, actually, I was just going to say, let's stick Kevin De Bruyne in the GOATs section. But then when you think about it, no, Kevin De Bruyne has got to go in the GOAT section. This guy has been Mr. Consistent since joining Man City. He was amazing at Wolfsburg in his final season, which is why he got his move to Man City. Kevin De Bruyne is, since 2014 really, has been at the top of his game. And yeah, I don't think you can argue with the fact that he has been arguably the best midfielder for the past how many years now. Yeah, I'm going to leave him in the GOAT section. Next up is Angel Di Maria. Now Di Maria is a very, very good player, but then again he's had a lot of downs, especially after leaving Real Madrid. He's another one where, same with Alexis Sanchez, went to Manchester United, it didn't work out for him. You can tell he didn't even want to be at the club to start with. Left, ended up at PSG anyway, and he's been good for PSG. He's not been anything remarkable. He had that one season at Madrid where he was the best midfielder or best wide or just best creator, I think, in Europe before he joined Manchester United. That's it really. He hasn't had many years of greatness or great football. I'm going to stick him at average. Diego Gordin. Now Diego Gordin, I think at one point must have been like top 3 best centre backs in the world, especially his last 2 seasons at Atletico. He was amazing. The guy was very underrated, and because of his age people kind of looked down on him, but time after time he just showed with experience how great of a centre back he is. I'm going to stick Diego Gordin. I want to put him in the league, but I'm going to put him in good. Antoine Griezmann, Mr. Fortnite. He had an amazing season with Real Sociedad 2014-15, and obviously after that he was amazing for Atletico. But it's like he just gradually just became better and better as a player. It's only since last season, since he's moved to Barcelona, where he's just gone back down again. Even though he's had that bad season, he still had very good seasons prior to that. I'm going to stick Griezmann in the league. Eden Hazard, I think during his time probably the best Premier League player. He brought that spark into the game every time you watched him for Chelsea. And I think it was 2012 he joined Chelsea, was it? He's just been consistent since then. He's been unlucky past couple of seasons with Madrid since he's moved there with the injuries. I'm going to stick Hazard in the league. He definitely was above good. Next up is Zlatan Ibrahimovic, where this guy is a whole different level. This guy just gets better with age. This guy could probably still be playing at 50. I can just imagine it. The guy bangs goals for fun. Majority of that time he was at PSG. I feel like his best years might have been prior to that, prior to 2010. He's another one where you're torn between elite and good. But I'm going to put Zlatan in good because I feel like his best seasons or his best time as a player probably just before 2010. So now I'm doubting myself. I'm actually doubting myself now. And I feel like I'm leading to push him into elite. So it's going to go in elite. Now, Iniesta. I don't think anyone can disagree if I was to put him in elite. I kind of wanted to put him into GOAT, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stick him in elite. Then we have Toni Kroos, but you're gonna have to go into good. Sergio Aguero, I'll stick him in elite because he's nothing less than elite. But to stick him in good, I think it's, see now I'm doubting Kevin De Bruyne in good. You know what? I'm gonna stick Aguero in there, and I'm gonna stick Kevin De Bruyne there. It's made me think that if Aguero is going into elite, Kevin De Bruyne can't stay at goal. Philipp Lahm, wow, what a player. What an icon of the game. This guy is another player which is probably Mr. Consistent for so many years. Up until he even retired, he'd still regard him as one of the best fullbacks at the time. You've just got to stick him at elite. I don't think there's anything else you can say. The guy was amazing in CDM, in midfield, amazing at fullback, right back, left back. Doesn't matter where you put him. So yeah, he's another elite player. Robert Lewandowski. You've got to say he's elite, especially from between 2015 to 2020. This guy was unreal. I feel like he's been robbed of a Ballon d'Or, especially last season. It didn't even go ahead, so yeah, technically he's been robbed of a Ballon d'Or. You've got to stick him in the elite. I don't think you have a choice but to stick him in the elite. Marcelo, see, this is another thing, and now it looks like I'm going to stick everyone in the elite. If Geordi Alba is in the elite, Marcelo has to be in the elite because them two were rivaling the whole way through. He wasn't your generic left back that is a proper left back. The guy was basically a left winger. The guy had skills, an amazing touch. He was just an elegant left back. I'm going to stick him in the elite. There's no doubt about it. Oh, not there, no. Kylian Mbappe. Now Mbappe, it's a bit of a tricky one because Mbappe, he came through very late into the decade, very young. But if we're talking about what he's done since he's broke through into the first team, you've just got to say this guy is a whole different class above everyone that came through that age group. He will win a Ballon d'Or very soon. Maybe not this year, maybe the year after that. And it's literally going to be a case of him and Haaland the whole way through. Now, is he worthy to be put in GOATs? No, because like I said, he came through very late in that decade. But is he elite? 100%. 100%. And he's a talent. He's just generational. He's a talent that you just do not see coming through. Now, next on the list is Lionel Messi. I'm not even going to say anything. I was going to stick him straight in there. Moving on, we have Luka Modric. I think I'm going to put him alongside Kroos in that good section. He's our midfield partner. Now, next up is Manuel Neuer. After winning the World Cup, winning the Champions League, winning numerous Bundesliga titles, this guy has definitely been elite. 100%. So I'm going to stick Manuel Neuer in elite. The next one, Neymar. I so wish he did not move to PSG because his time at Barcelona with that MSN trio up front, it was just a whole nother level. Neymar, without a doubt, has been elite. This guy is just insane. So Neymar goes straight into the elite. For me, this next person definitely has to go in the elite. Jan Oblak has been consistent for so many years now. I believe personally that he is the #1 keeper right now in the world, and I believe he's been the #1 keeper for the barring last season when Neuer for me was the #1 keeper. And prior to that, maybe 2-3 more seasons, Jan Oblak was the #1 for me. For me, he has to go in the elite. So I'm gonna put Jan Oblak in the elite. Gerard Pk, a legend of the game. He's had his ups and downs. With PK, he's always going to be in that Barcelona squad. I know I'm going to get some hate for this. I'm going to put Gerard Pk in good. Paul Pogba. It's a tricky one. I love Paul Pogba as a player. I believe on his day he is world class, but on his day isn't good enough. You see the big difference when Paul Pogba plays with the French national team and when he plays with Manchester United. He had a brilliant time at Juventus, but joining Manchester United, since coming back, he's had a season and a half. That's good, maybe. I think I'm going to put Paul Pogba in meh. Next up is Carlos Puyo. Now, Carlos Puyo, obviously, he's gone towards the end of his career, and he's another one of them players. They've had the better run before 2010. Now, for me, he was average at that point. Before that, this guy was insane. This guy was immense. This guy was amazing. But post 2010, he wasn't the same Puyol that we've seen before. So for me, he goes right next to Di Maria in the average section. But I'm not saying he was an average player. I'm saying just at time, he was average. Rakitic. The Rakitic. I think he's another one where I just put him in average. So I think I'm gonna put Rakitic in the average section. Sergio Ramos, for me, the best centre back the last 10 years I've seen, and that's hands down. He's contending to be in the GOAT section realistically. If we're talking as a defender, you could say he's in the GOAT section, but I think that GOAT section has got to stay with those three that are in there right now. So I'm going to stick Sergio Ramos in elite. Next up is Marco Reus. For me, I think Marco Reus, as good as a player he is, I think within that decade, I'm going to stick him in good. I feel like he was good within that section, like that decade, that time period anyway. Now, one of my favourite players ever, Arjen Robben. This guy was so silky. He was just on another level. You just know what he's going to do. Coming off the right wing, cutting inside, and you know he's looking to cut in on his left and take a shot. But he just couldn't stop him. This guy was such a little slippery, I don't know what the word is, but arguably probably the best right winger there was, barring Messi. So I'm gonna stick him in the elite section 100%. Frank Ribery. That was always a competition between who was the better winger at Bayern, Ribery or Robben. For me, it was always going to be Robben, but Ribery was another insane player. Surely, if Robben is an elite, Ribery's got to be in the elite section. So I'm going to stick Ribery in the elite section, right next to his little pal, Robben. Mohamed Salah. Everyone raves about Salah right now, but if we're talking that decade, I don't think he had that much of an impact at all. He struggled with Chelsea, went to Roma, he had that one good season. Ever since then, he's been Liverpool's arguably his best player. He's not been so good up until Roma. I'm stuck between whether to put him in average or good. If I'm looking at it this way, for me it looks like he's done a similar one to Di Maria. Di Maria had that amazing season with Real. Now Salah was obviously top scorer for Liverpool, Champions League winner, Premier League winner, but then that's a collective team thing. As an individual, I'm going to get so much hate for Liverpool fans. I'm going to stick him in the average section. Oh, David Silva. This guy was an actual magician. I think this guy is arguably one in a shout for one of the best Premier League midfielders of all time. So surely he's got to go in the elite, and that's just a given. Next up is Luis Suarez. Same again. He's got to go in the elite. Ter Stegen is the next one. Who, if I compare him to Oblak, I feel like Oblak has had the better seasons. So I'm going to stick Ter Stegen in the good section. Yaya Toure. I feel like Yaya Toure, with what he's done, especially for Man City, I feel like he's got to go in the elite. He was just that good. Oh. Virgil Van Dyke. I'm going to stick Virgil Van Dyke in the elite section. The next one is Rafael Varane. I wouldn't put him in elite just yet, but I'd definitely put him in good. So he's going to go into the good section. Arturo Vidal. Tricky one. I like Vidal. I feel like his time at Bayern was a very good one. Same at Juventus, he was a workhorse. Barcelona, he was good, but he wasn't amazing. So I feel like for him, it'd definitely be in the good section. I wouldn't put him at average. No, I'm going to put him at average because Toni Kroos and Modric were definitely a level above him. Yeah, I'm going to put him at average. David Villa. Now, I can already hear my friend Damo going, he used to go in the GOAT section. But if I'm being honest, David Villa has got to go in the elite. Sorry, Damo. For Damo's sake, I'm going to stick him in elite. And then I don't have anything in the air. Down my ear. Wayne Rooney. Oh, my favourite English player of all time. But he's another one of them players where he was so good pre-2010. People forget how good he was. But now that he's obviously ended his career, people then realise how good he actually was. But if we're talking between 2010 to 2020, he was average, I'd say. But that's not at the fault of his own. The start of the decade was good. Very, very good. But then he had a significant drop. It's one of them ones where he kind of took one for the team. He was a true leader. I'm going to put Rooney in average. Even though I don't want to, my heart's telling me to stick him in elite, but all good. But if we're talking that space of time, he was average. It is what it is. Wayne Rooney is going to go in the average section. We have Shavi Alonso. He's another one where I'm thinking Was his best time pre-2010? I feel like his better years were at Liverpool. I'm going to stick him in the good section. Last but not least, we have Xavi. Was his best pre-2010? Because he aged and slowed down a lot quicker than Iniesta did. But regardless, even then, he was still at the top of his game. I'm stuck between putting him into elite or into good. And I feel like I'm going to stick him in the good section, even though I should stick him in the league, and I know I'm gonna get so much hate for this, but it is what it is. I'm gonna stick him in the good section, but I'll stick him at the start if that makes it better. So there you have it. That's my tier list for the best 50 players between 2010 and 2020. If you've enjoyed the video, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit up on my socials, they'll be down in the description below. If you want to have a go at this tier list, I'll leave a link to it down in the description as well. And let me know what you guys put, let me know what you guys think. If you got any disagreements, drop it down in the comments below. Like I said, if you like the video, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.